Hey guys, so I have actually been reading and I'm so happy because I have been in like a complete reading slump for almost a year and I have not picked up a book, and I think it was because I was trying to finish a book series that just put me in a complete reading funk slump thing, and I just could not pick up a book. But I finally decided to pick up a book and I just needed a different pace of reads. So I picked up The Constant Princess by Philippa Gregory. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about Philippa Gregory, and they don't like her work because they're not accurate. And, Philippa Gregory likes to play with the what ifs a lot. And that's what I love about her, though. She takes these historical people and put them in a situation where, like, what if this happened? What if this really happened? And she mixes I hate to say character, but she mixes their portrayal a lot in their personalities, and she changes a lot of what happens in history, and I kind of like that about her. I'm pretty sure that there are some accuracies, but in Philippa Gregory's work, I don't think there's a lot of accuracies. Because I have read nonfiction books on these people, and Philippa's work is a little bit off, but I still love her work, and I still love the fact that she plays with the what ifs. What if this happened? What if like in this book, she took Catalina's and Arthur's marriage, which this is about Catherine of Aragon, by the way, King Henry VIII's first wife, and she takes Catalina and Arthur's marriage, which is King Henry VIII's older brother. She takes her marriage and she kind of explores what if they really didn't love each other, because in other books they say that they didn't love each other, it was a totally loveless marriage, but I like the fact that they really did love each other in this book. And I like the romance aspect of it. They didn't like each other at first because he was a young, stupid, arrogant boy who didn't really know what to do with women. And she kind of course she was young and she didn't know what to do with herself. So she was just lost and alone. She didn't really have anyone to turn to. Her mother was kind of a hard ass, and her father was really no help. And her mother just always put it in her mind that, you have to be queen. This is God's, will. You have to be the queen. It was very God-driven, and they really believed that they were the favorites of God's children, and it was just in her destiny to become queen, and she kind of took her own destiny and became queen kind of in her own way. Poor Arthur died of the sweat sickness in this book, and she had to go back to court because they went to... Oh God, where did they go? They had to move to their own house. I forget where in England they lived exactly. They had to pretty much raise their own household and, become husband and wife at such a young age. She was only, I think, 16, 15, and he was like 12 or 13. A lot younger than she was, and, so they had issues in the marriage at first, but then they grew to love each other, and it was a true, fascinating love story that I love to hear. And it actually made me cry a little bit when Arthur died, and I wasn't expecting that because I kind of wanted to move on and see where it went with her and Henry, because I was getting a little bit confused because Henry's name wasn't Henry. His name was actually Harry in this book, and towards the end, Catalina had changed her name to Catherine. So it was a little bit confusing at some parts, but this is definitely a really good read. There was a lot of betrayal. There was a lot of deceiving in her becoming queen. She had to go through poverty after Arthur died because, after Arthur, what is she there for? She can't really do anything unless they marry her off to one of their other sons, and that's what she was planning after Arthur died. She wanted to marry Henry because she really, really wanted to be queen. It was her God-given right to become queen. And so she kind of did that on her own to make that happen, and she just became this powerful monarch who defeated the Scots and defeated the French, and we got to see her, become this powerful queen, and then kind of kicked off her throne by Anne Boleyn towards the very end. And sadly, she didn't have any sons. She only had Mary. But I actually like Mary too. I really want to read more about Mary and I kind of know the whole story with the Bloody Mary thing, but I kind of want to see how, that all went down. But The Constant Princess is a very good read, and I highly, highly recommend it. I give it 4 out of 5 stars, only because it did drag on. In some parts, she kept mentioning how it was her God-given right to be queen. She had to be queen. She had to be queen. And I just kept going, okay, so make it happen. You're supposed to be queen. We already know that. Make it happen. Like I said, all in all, very, very intriguing. I could not put it down when I picked it up. Very good book. The Constant Princess, Philippa Gregory. Go pick it up if you love to dive into the what-ifs of history. This is really good.